But before we go to that document, I have few questions to ask before, my lord. Thank you. Mr. Madlala, yesterday you testified as to how the shooting incident took place. You remember when we were in that area of the shooting incident?
Ngizolo ngizofakaza waqhaza ukuthi ke lokudubula kwenzeke kanjani ngesikhathi ke sichaza sikhuluma ngendaba lokudubula sakhumbula.
Yes,
yes, I recall.
Can I just ask you a few questions? Maybe you have testified about that, but I need clarity on that.
Ngicela nje ukubuza imibuzo embalwa. Themba ukuthi lokho sowunikile ufakazi ngakho kodwa ke ngidinga ukuthi nje ngithole clarity ngakho lapho nalapho.
Okay, akunankinga.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. When the three people were struggling with the intruder who had a gun, and you were with the deceased and the second person next to the door, where was Longwe Twala?
Ngesikhathi labantu ababokuqala abathathu sisho umama laba abantu besifazane ngesikhathi bebusy nalo muntu ongene eqala lo wayephethe isibhamu wena unomufi lo usenzo nalo wesibili eqini komnyango lo uLongwe Twala bekakuphi?
Now bekangekho endlini.
He was not inside the house.
Okay, can you just take me?
Wabaleka ngithi.
He came out of the house running.
At what stage?
Uphuma baleka nini?
Ngesikhathi kungena lo muntu ongena kokuqala nesibhamu lo wenza ama-threat.
When the first intruder entered the house, the intruder with deadlocks.
Did he run before you or after you?
Uye wabaleka ngaphambi kwakho noma ngemva kwakho?
Uyena umuntu ophuma eqala endlini lo.
He's the first person to exit the house.
Is there anyone who followed him?
Uye walandela?
Ngaleso sikhathi bekangithi mekaphuma bekangekho umuntu umuntu omlandela eduze.
Okay. By the time when he exited, there was no one following him closely.
Okay. So, Longwe Twala, as soon as the intruder appeared with a gun, he ran out of the house.
uLongwe Twala ngesikhathi lomhlasela angena aphethe isibhamu uye waphuma gijima aphuma lapha endlini.
Yeah, usuke esofeni la ehleli khona waphusha lo muntu wayophuma ke ngaphandle.
Yes. He stood up from the sofa where he sat, and then he pushed this person off. He went outside.
And he was not shot?
Azange dutshulwe.
Cha, azange dutshulwe.
No, he was not shot.
And then Mthokozisi Twala, was he also inside the house? Is that Mthokozisi Twala?
Umthokozisi Twala ngesikhathi leso bekaphakathi endlini.
Umthokozisi angimazi ukuthi uphume ngasiphi isikhathi because immediately makuphuma isibhamu mina ngibale ngayo ekamereni so kokwenzeke la ekitchen angazi lo msale waphuma owenza kanjani.
Mthokozisi Twala, I don't know at what time did he exit the house because immediately after a shot was fired, I ran to the bedroom, so I don't know what transpired back then inside the kitchen.
But when you left, when you were struggling with the deceased and the second person next to the door, and the three were struggling with the first person who was carrying, was Mthokozisi Twala still inside the room? Inside the room?
Lalla ke mfowethu ngesikhathi laba besifazane bebhizi nalo uqala ungena ayahlome ngesibhamu wena nomufi nibhizi nalo wesibili yena uMthokozisi Twala wayesesekhona phakathi lapha endlini.
Or you did not see?
Cha noma zange umbone.
Angizange ngambona ngikhumbula ngikhululeka kuphi ngaleso sikhathi.
I did not see him. I don't recall where he was by that time.
Okay. And when then did you see Mthokozisi back in the house?
Uphinde wabona nini futhi yena uMthokozisi Twala abuyile endlini?
Ngalesikhathi sengifuna ukuvula ngithi sengizwa sekukhuluma into la endlini abanye bayakhala ngasikhathi sengifuna ukuvula la ngimbone ngaleso sikhathi sengivulela ngesiphume emnyango.
I again saw him when I was attempting to open the door from the bedroom. When I heard the people who were inside the house speaking, others were crying. By the time he was opening the door for me using a spoon.
Okay. Now let's then just revisit. You remember the diagram I showed you yesterday?
Uyayikhumbula le diagram engibonisa ngizolo?
Yeah, ngiyayikhumbula.
Yes, I do recall it.
And at the time of the shooting incident, the only person who was outside the house, it was Longwetwala.
Ngesikhathi sokudubula umuntu wayengaphandle ngesikhathi sokuye kuphela uLongwetwala.
Kuyena ngisho ukuthi umuntu konjani ngizange ngimbone ukuthi wayesephumile or engakaphumi mina ngizange nginaki but okwalonge uye phela wasukuma kuqala nesho ukuthi uye wayesephumile.
Yes, about Longa I would say yes is the one because I did not notice that during that time did he exit the house or he was still in. But yes, by that time it was only Longwetwala who was outside.
When the shot was fired?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can you then also repeat for me here in terms of the photo, in terms of the postmortem report? Can the diagram be depicted there, Mr. Sibande? Just the diagram only. Maybe, my lords, for the description of that is given in the diagram, it's contained in paragraph 4, my lord, of the postmortem. The external appearances of the body, of the condition of the limbs.
Yes.
Mr. Tumelo, according to the doctor, in paragraph 4, you will just listen to what I'm saying. Yes. It says, the entry wound, it was situated over the right anterior chest wall, 1 centimeter to the right of the midley and 1 centimeter above the heel, is a 3 centimeter point 5 centimeter oval shape lacerated wound. The interpreter did not have the document. Paragraph 4.
Paragraph number 4, ne?
External appearances of the body.
And conditions of the limbs. Yes. External appearance of the body. Yes, we got it.
Okay. Can you interpret it for him, the first line I've read in paragraph 2? Situated over the right.
Lake iyaqhaza ke ngenqeba leli elitholakala kuyo umufi sizona kahle ne ukuthi ke lingapha ke ngapha ngaka right la ku interior la ngasesifubeni sakhe ku 1 cm uma uya ngaka right and then uma ubheka kulo line oya phakathi midline and then futhi ku 135 cm uma ubheka ngaphezulu kancane nje and then uyaqhaza futhi ukuthi lokho kugcina futhi kwenza ukuthi kube 3 cm times 1.5 centimeter i-oval shape into njenge kweqanda nje then inqeba la khona lelo la dujule khona uyabona lapha. Yes, I do follow.
Let's continue also to the sentence which starts with the word on the same paragraph, my lord. The wound edges appeared seared, situated just below the skin, blackened, granular material consistent with gunshot residue are noted in the underlying soft tissue. In brackets, this wound is consistent with a contact bullet entrance wound.
Njengoba kuxoxwa kizo la khulunywa ngale nxeba lokuthi ke uma kubheka eduze kuma edges wale nxeba lekubonakala ke ngaphansi kakuthi kungaphansi kweskin noma isikhumba sakhe then kunokulokho okukhona okumnyama futhi okunjengama granules uyangizisa lokho kuhambisana nokudutshula kwesibhamu lokho okuthiwa impuphu yakhona igun residue uyangithola gunshot residue and then kungaphansi kwaso lesikhumba lesi sakhe la adutshule khona and then lokho kuhambisana nani nokuthi ke udutshulwe nge-contact plate ukuthi aseduze njengoba sichazile izona.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes, it's understood.
Yeah. Then can you go back to the diagram?
Asibuke i-diagram ke
Sibanda.
asibheke lana.
Then you remember in your testimony is that the second person was standing at the door.
Uyakhumbula ukuthi efakazini bakho ukuthi umuntu wesibili lo bakami eminyango.
Yeah, ngicela ngala komnyango yakho.
Yes, next to the door.
And then it means he was behind the deceased. Is that correct?
Lokho usho ukuthi bayangemuva kwakhe umufi lo. Kuyiqiniso lokho.
Beka ngemuva or beka ngaphambi komufi.
Do you mean that he was behind the deceased or in front of the deceased?
Okay. You can just tell me, maybe I'm mixing the facts, but from your testimony is that that person was standing next to the door facing in-house.
Yes.
Uye ngofakazi bakuthi lo muntu lo bakamela pheka seminyango abheke ngaphakathi endlini.
Yes.
That's correct?
And then the deceased was facing that person facing the exit door.
Then umufi bekaqonda abheke ngakumuntu lo abheke nomnyango lo uphuma.
Yes, ubebheka umnyango uphuma emva kwakhe bengaphambi kwayo umuntu wangena.
Yena umufi bekangaphambi kwalomuntu.
Angisho bebebhekene kanje. So there's no other way ukuthi angaba ngemuva. Uzoba ngemuva kanjani with deceased?
They were facing each other. There's no way that he will be at the back or behind.
And then at the back of the deceased, it was you. It was yourself.
Ngemva kwakhe umufi benguwe.
No, mina ngithi bese seceleni kanje mangisuka ngizala ngigijima ngithi ngiyabaleka ngiyaphuma. Bese ngiseceleni kwakhe usenzo ngize ngikhona ukushaya lo mbenge ngikhona ukumshaya ngisemva kwakhe usenzo.
Isn't that, my intention was to exit the house running, so I was next to Senzo, the deceased, so I was not going to be able to beat the assailant if I'm behind him.
Okay. But then also, the deceased was shot whilst there was that struggling, whilst the deceased was holding the second person's hand, and you were hitting the second person.
Yes.
Then look to like umufi udutshule ngesikhathi ke kukhona lokuhlangahlangana ngesikhathi yena umufi ke abambe yena lo muntu onihlasela ambambe ngesandla then wena umshaya.
Yes.
That's correct?
And when the shot was fired, it went through, you remember yesterday, it went through from Senzo and it exited.
Uyakhumbula ukuthi izolo sitheni ngesikhathi akudutshulwa ke lenhlamvu ingene kuye usenzo yaseyiphuma idlula.
Yeah, ngiyakhumbula.
Yes, I recall.
As a practice, we don't need to interfere with the Marlene's friend's cross-examination, but the witness testified that he had a shot being fired. He never testified, my lord, that that is the shot that struck the deceased. I think, my lord, the counsel and the witness might be at cross purposes, but the witness has always said he had the first shot, and that's when he ran into the bedroom.
Yes.
My lord, I think yesterday I did explain, my lord, to the witness to say these are the findings by the doctor who conducted the postmortem examination, my lord. And the doctor is not saying it's what the witness is saying. But I'm referring the witness in terms of the findings of the doctor, my lord, as he was directly involved in that position of the deceased when the shot was fired, my lord.
The point of the matter is counsel is laboring under the impression or perhaps understanding the witness to say that that first shot is the one that struck the deceased, whereas the witness is saying he had the first shot and he ran into the bedroom. I think that is an issue, my lord, that needs to be clarified at this stage.
If I may assist as well, I think counsel for the state is also misleading when he says the first shot. The witness never mentioned whether it's a first shot or what. The witness said a shot. You must be clear on that, Your Lordship.
There you are.
Thank you, Madam. Mr. Madlala, when the shot was fired, okay, in terms of the findings that has been made by the doctor, is that the entry wound is at the front and it exited. My point is on this, is that the gunshot, when the bullet went throughout the body, it exited the deceased. Do you understand that?
Lala-ke baba Mandla la sikhuluma ngemiphumela noma ama-findings atholwe ngudokotela ne njengobonisa ku-diagram ukuthi leli khulu ngesikhathi lidutshulwa-ke lingene ngapha ngaphambili lase liphuma kuye umufi liphuma ngasemuva. Uyakuzwisisa lokho?
Okay, ngiyakuzwa.
Yes, I do follow.
But the person who was standing behind the deceased was not injured.
Kodwa lo muntu bekeme ngasemuva kwakhe umufi azange alimale.
Understanding mhlawumbe ukuthi akalimalanga kanjani.
I don't understand. Is he or she is not injured? In what way?
Because makwenzeka njengoba ngisho ukuthi makuqhuma isibhamu mina ngabaleka ngawo cashe ekamereni. Bese ngithi okunye kwenzeka la ngemva ngazi kwenzakalani.
As I said that, immediately when the shot was fired, I ran into the bedroom to hide myself. As to what happened after I left, I don't know.
And angibonanga ngaleso sikhathi ukuthi usenze wadubuleka because angibonanga ukuthi inhlamvu yayingena umuntu la iqhuma emoyeni. Ngezwe nje ukuqhuma kwesibhamu. Ngabona after sengibuye endlini ekamereni ukuthi usenze ulimele.
And by the time when I ran off into the bedroom, I did not notice that Senzo was injured or shot at, because the only thing that I heard is just the shot was fired, then I ran to the bedroom. I then realized when I came back from the bedroom that he was injured.
I'm also referring to this because you were there. Maybe you can assist us. If you cannot, there is no problem with that. It's just what was found by the doctor, that the bullet exited, and therefore I am saying to you, if it is true that there was an intruder behind Senzo, then the bullet should have hit that person who is the intruder.
Once again, we object to that, my lord. The question presupposes that one shot was fired, and we submit, my lord, that might confuse the witness. That is the first thing. And secondly, we submit, my lord, that questions regarding issues of forensic nature should be reserved for the pathologists who conducted the postmortem or the ballistic expert, my lord. It's unfair to expect of a witness to comment on issues very technical as the entrance and exit.
There you are.
My lord, I submit, my lord, with due respect that this line of cross-examination is crucial just for this witness, my lord, to respond where he can. If he cannot, there is no harm. I understand it's the findings made by the doctor, but I was just testing in line of what he has testified about regarding the position of the deceased, the second person who was standing with the deceased, and the witness himself when the shot was fired.
Remember, even the doctor might not be able to assist.
My lord.
So this requires somebody with ballistic insight.
Insight, my lord.
Yeah, I think that is what Mr. Baloy is raising.
Yes.
Because you are saying I can hear what you're saying. You are saying whoever would have been standing behind Senzo should
Yes.
have been hit
By the bullet.
the bullet upon exit from Senzo's body.
Yes, my lord.
But then I don't know whether it is for this witness to say whether there was no other possibility other than, that is the first, whether there was no other possibility than that person being hit by the bullet, number
Yes.
one. Number two, whether this bullet was, I think that's what he's saying, but I think that's beside the point, to say whether it is the only bullet, because I think whether it's the only bullet is besides the point, because Advocate Mshololo is talking about this bullet that entered the body and exited.
Yes, my lord.
Whether there were other bullets fired is besides the point.
Yes. Thank you, my lord. That is so. That is so. Thank you. My lord, if I can be allowed to ask just one question with the leave of the court. If it's overruled, it's overruled. The doctor's findings are that the entry wound was in front of the chest of the deceased.
Ungaphawula nokuthi uyakhona ke ngizokubuza na kumbuzo ukuthi ke udokotela noma ama findings kadokotela ke athi ke lenqeba ke lekule lingene ngapha ngaphambili la esifubeni.
Angazi lutho ngalokuthi la ngena kanjani, ngikuzwa nje mathi ingena lapho mangakuphi.
I don't know anything about the entrance of this bullet and also the exit. I'm just learning about it right here.
No, it's fine, I understand. But I'm just making reference to this. If you cannot comment, it's okay. Then if the doctor says the deceased sustained entry wound in front, whilst the deceased was facing the door, it means the person who fired shot would have been in front of the deceased, not at the back.
Once again, we reiterate our objection. These are technical issues beyond the knowledge of the witness. Firstly, the witness has said he wasn't, after a shot went off, he ran into the house. And secondly, my lord, as we have already indicated, these issues are of a technical nature and should be reserved for experts. And thirdly, my learned friend can take up those issues in argument, my lord, but we respectfully submit that it's unfair to put such questions of a technical nature to a witness.
Okay?
My lord, I do understand it's a technical, it's a scientific evidence that is contained here, and the doctor will still be called. If the witness cannot answer on that, I will accept it, my lord. But I was drawn to the attention of this by the line of evidence the witness has testified about regarding the position of the people at the time when the shot was fired. To say if, because the witness said the shot was fired by people who were behind the deceased, my lord. It means that intruder who had a gunshot with the three female persons were behind the deceased. That's the evidence of this witness, my lord. And then the doctor says the deceased sustained entry wound in front of his chest. That is why I was asking in line with what the witness said. What do you say to what the doctor
Would the witness know how a bullet would behave if it enters
would
in the
behave.
front under those circumstances?
No, thank you, my lord. I will withdraw.
I think that is what Mr. Balo is raising.
I
Because,
will.
if he gives you a certain answer and you ask further, I think you'll get stuck.
Thank you, my lord. I will rephrase. I just wanted to put it to the attention of the witness that to say, however, from what we have said, the doctor is found in contrary, and the doctor found that the entry wound was in front, not at the back, if it's true what we have testified about. But I will withdraw the question.
Okay.
How many shots were fired inside the house?
Kudutshuleka ngakhe phakathi lapha endlini.
Ngabe ngicamba manga uma ngithi ngiyazidutshuleka ngakhe. Ngabe ngicamba manga uma ngithi ngabala ukuthi kwadutshuleka ngakhe.
I'll be lying if I'm saying that I know how many times the shots were fired.
Okay, did you hear one or more than once? Because there is one that you heard that made you to run away.
Yes, yes.
So uzwe kudutshula kanye noma kuvula kanye ukuthi lokhu kudutshula kanye ngikho kwenza ukuthi ubaleke.
It is one thing. Le shot mayisho uqala cause yashaya ngezwe amandla bengathi avaleke lethule ngibaleke khona ngayi kamereni. Okunye kwasala kwenzeka bese ngekho lapho bengishaya na uvalo ngaleso sikhathi.
That is why I'm saying that I did not count, because when the first shot rang, I mean, it hit so hard, even my ears were a bit somehow closed. That's why I ran back into the bedroom. As to what transpired after I left, I cannot tell.
When you entered inside the bedroom, did you have your cell phone with you?
Ngesikhathi ungena ebedroom buphethe cellphone yakho.
Yebo ngiphethe ngize ngayifaka ingubeni ngiyifihlile. Khona ingubo ezazika right mongena eminyango kulelo kamera. Afuhle ingubo ngayifaka ngaphansi lapha.
Yes, I had my cell phone with myself by that time. I even hid this cell phone underneath the blankets, because when you enter into the bedroom, on the right hand side there were blankets there, so just inserted the phone there, hiding it.
Why didn't you call the police to report that there is a robbery or there is shooting inside this house when you were inside the bedroom now?
Kungani ungafonela amaphoyisa ubatshele ukuthi phela kunerobbery kunokukhuthiswa lapha endlini ngesikhathi sophakathi ekamreni?
And you had closed the door at that time.
And ngesikhathi besuvala isicaba.
Hey, angazi angifikanga lo uyabona makwenzeka into kuwena ku easy ma umuntu engenzeka ngaphambi kwakho ukhulume nje. But into mayisiyenzeka umqondo wakho angeke ucontrol ukuthi awenze ukuthi because into esukucabanga nje la ukuthi ngiyafa or kufanele ngithole indlela yokuphuma.
It did not cross my mind, and again, it's easy for you to say something if the incident, it just happened to somebody, it did not happen to you. But then if it happens directly to you, I mean, your mind freezes. I mean, you cannot think about doing such things. The only thing that you think about is survival, running away, or I'm dying.
Okay. And also Longo Twala ran out before and also did not call anyone, did not call the police to come and attend.
Nayo lo ngethwala ke uyimani waphuma wabaleka ke azange abiza amaphoyisa ukuthi eze nawo lapha.
Ngicabanga ukuthi akaza wabiza because ambuza la time ukuthi mawuphuma uphumela ukuthi wathi beyofuna ibackup ne.
I think that he did not call the help of the police, because I inquired from him that when you exited, what was your intention? He said he was going to look for backup.
So eventually, what backup was he referring? Did you see any backup that came?
Ngiphi backup bekakhuluma ngayo uyayibona backup iza lapho wena?
Angazi ngiyibona mhlambe nokunye kusengayiphendulela yena because ngiyacabanga ukuthi usazoza na enkantolo.
I have never seen the backup, but I think on other aspects he must come and answer for himself, because I believe that he's still going to come and testify before this court.
On that aspect. But there is no people who came to intervene after Longo Twala had ran out of the house.
Abekho abantu bayafika bangenelela ngemva kokuthi uLongo aphumile abaleka lapha endlini.
Cha abekho abuya na.
No.
And when you came out from the bedroom, where was Longo Twala by then?
Ngesikhathi uphuma lapha ekamereni bekakuphi yena uLongo Twala ngesikhathi leso?
Angibonanga nje.
I did not see him.
Okay, until when?
Kufikela nini?
When you were carrying out the deceased, was he there?
Ngesikhathi nikhipha umufi nimgugile bekakhona lapha?
Angibonanga bese kugcwele abanye abo nabantu khona bafana babesiza la. I think abakamakhelwane o.
No, I did not see him, because there were other boys, I think neighbors boys who were assisting us there.
Okay.